Well, that coffee mug, it is nearly 40 years old. I gave that to my mom when I was like 12 or 13, and it was her favorite mug. You know, Mom, she didn't have the hardest life in the world by any means, but it wasn't easy for her either. She was born on a farm. They were farmers, and when she was 10 years old, her father died of polycystic kidney disease. Oop, I lost my trail. Or PKD. She was only 10, so it was tough on her mother and her little sister in particular, having to carry on. But then, you know, she inherited the polycystic kidney disease and had to eventually go on the dialysis machine. And kidney dialysis, it is kind of painful and it's exhausting. You have to go through a lot just to do that. But you know, she continued to work because she had taken a job, and she was a great homemaker, but she'd taken a job to help put me and my brothers through college. And even after she started her 3 days a week dialysis, she still worked on those days, that job. So she also had breast cancer, and you know, she survived that and did well with that. She was definitely pretty tough. And I think she was smarter than I think what most of us gave her credit for. She read a lot. She did a lot of reading. She only went through high school, both she and Dad, but she read and read and read. That's what she just loved it. And so she knew a lot of things. So anyway, she passed away in early, well, it's been a little over 3 years now. So I miss her and think about her. Mom, because of her dialysis, I guess, in particular, in her condition, she wasn't able to travel that much at all. She and Dad, of course, they didn't have a lot of money, but so whenever anybody in the family or some close friends were traveling, Mom kind of traveled vicariously through them. She'd get out maps and stuff and guess where they were and what they were doing, how far they'd gotten that particular day or whatever. So, you know, she if she were alive now, she would be my biggest supporter, of course. She'd be extremely worried about me going. However, she'd be very supportive, and she would have maps. She'd make sure she had that I'd have a tracking device so she could really follow me every step of the way. So I know that really she'd get a big kick out of me doing a through hike of the Appalachian Trail. Heard he's barking at something over here. So last week he got caught up in a snake. I was almost positive, and but it slithered away too fast, and I wasn't sure if that's what I saw. But this morning, walking with Hurley, the sun was already up, and sure enough, that snake crossed in front of me. It was at least 3 foot. Ooh, ooh, no, that's a possum. That's a possum down under that tree. But that snake, there was no distinguishing pattern to it. I saw mostly kind of a light gray or light green color, and it was pretty thick too, and it slithered real quick across the trail in front of me and under a big tree, the same place where he got hooked up with it. I'm almost positive I just saw a possum in that hole under that tree right there. So I don't want to get tangled up with a possum, so that's as close as I'm gonna get. You don't need to get tangled up with a possum either, Hurley. Well, it didn't look very big. All right. Back to it. Well, it looked to me like the nose and the head of a possum, a small possum sticking out. And when I got close, it disappeared. It backed up in there. So I'm almost positive that's what it was. But, you know, the other day, Hurley was out here barking, and he's always barking. And on this, I sit on this retaining wall right here, and of this sand pit, or this fire pit, and he was barking at a tarantula that was crawling up it. So it's always interesting. You never know what you're going to find when Hurley's out here exploring around. Now, one of the things that I think is very necessary for me to take on the trail is wet wipes, some form of wet wipes. And the reason for that, for me personally, is being a fat guy and hopefully losing more weight on the trail. I'll have loose skin. I have the rolls of fat and the rolls of loose skin. Those you have a better chance with those of getting them infected when they're all sweaty and you can't shower. So it's very important, I think, to be able to clean yourself as often as you can with wet wipes until you can get, you know, a good shower with soap and everything. So it's important for me to carry maybe more than normal in my mind. So my conundrum has been they're so heavy. And everybody deals with that, you know, talks about it, you know, the issue of the heavy wet wipes. Of course, you know, we all know that the thing to do is to dry them out, and then you know, you add a little water to them. It kind of rehydrates them, if you will, and you can use them. But how do you dry them out as you're traveling along the trail? Well, in researching it last year, you know, a number of people had suggested in YouTube videos and other stuff I read, they said, look, dry out a whole bunch of them. Dry out a bunch of them, and then put them in resupply boxes to have them sent to you at certain locations. Well, that doesn't fit with my plan, with what I'm wanting to do. I really don't want a bunch of resupply boxes that I planned that far in advance, because I don't want to be tied into having to go into a town just because there's a box there. Maybe I don't need it, you know, that I just don't want to have to deal with that. So I thought, well, you know, I'm not going to dry out a bunch for the whole time, all ahead of time. So I'll just deal with the weight, I guess. I'll dry out the ones I start off with. But I was watching Sue M's video. She's through hiking this year, and bless her heart, she's had some physical issues, but she's hanging in there. She's going strong, I think, still. I got to commend her for that. Sue M is her channel. And so it's been a while back now, but she had on, I think it was a 2-part video, Sir Pax-a-Lot go through all her gear, and she showed it on her video. Anyway, one in particular thing he said that was interesting to me, of course, was about the wet wipes. He suggested when you resupply at a Dollar General or wherever while you're hiking, go ahead and take them out of the package and split them apart and put them in your mesh pocket, your big mesh pocket on the front of your backpack. Now, she has a Z-Pax, I think, which has a big mesh pocket, and it's mesh with big holes in it. A lot of airflow. Well, my Osprey has a mesh pocket on it. The holes aren't as big, but there's still airflow that goes through there. So I thought that's a pretty decent solution for me. And that'll give them an opportunity to dry out, some anyway. Then I would put them in a Ziploc baggie that I would have for those. So, of course, the one issue with that mainly is it has to be a day with the sun's out, or at least it's not raining. Rain would mess that up. I feel a little bit better about the weight of these things since I have an idea now of how to dry them out and make them a little bit lighter. So thought I'd share that, thought I'd pass that along in case you have had the same conundrum. Good Sunday morning. Well, once again, happy Mother's Day to everyone, but especially to my sisters-in-law, Kim and Shelley, and my niece, Morgan. Happy Mother's Day. Well, guys, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it very much. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share, and I will see you next week.